What's up, guys? Your boy Wild Bill hitting you back up. I know it's been a while, but back on to get back on these AFC previews. Next stop is the AFC South, and we're going to start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. 7-9 last season, missed out on the playoffs, and this was after they were pretty much in the driver's seat for that final wild card spot a few weeks ago. But then they decided to, I don't know what happened, but they just faltered at the end and basically cost themselves a shot at the playoffs. This season, they're pretty much, about the same team that they were last year. The key addition that they do have is the D-end Aaron Campman. Brought him over from Green Bay, so that's going to help. Of course, they got Maurice Jones-Drew back. And, obviously the catalyst of that offense, everything's around him. So he'll be expected to lead the team again. And they also got Mike Sims-Walker back there as well. He's definitely going to be the number one guy this season because, especially considering Torrey Holt is no longer there. And, because obviously he's now in New England. So most of the catches, most of the targets are probably going to go to Sims-Walker. But I don't know if this team's really going to do that well again this year. They'll probably be at the bottom of the barrel as far as the South goes. So, just have to wait and see what happens. Next up, I will talk about the Tennessee Titans. By the way, you guys like the shades? Bet you do. I just thought they'd look cool to wear today. The Titans basically did the exact opposite of what Jacksonville did at the end of the season. Tennessee, of course, went on such a hot streak to end the season. Obviously, they started the season 0-6, wound up finished. They went 8-2 in the second half of the season. So 8-8 overall, which is very good. Again, for a team that started 0-6. Of course, beginning of the season, they started with Kerry Collins. Then Fisher finally made the decision to put Vince Young as a starter, and Young stepped in very nicely. He developed a nice connection as well with Kenny Britt, so that combo will be a nice one to watch in the coming years in this season. And of course, when you talk about the offense, you obviously got to start with CJ2K himself, Chris Johnson. 2,006 rushing yards, about 2,500 yards from scrimmage last season. Of course, he's probably going to be the clear-cut number one draft pick in just about every fantasy draft this season. So, will he put up the same numbers that he did last season? Probably not. But you could probably expect about maybe 1,600 yards rushing again this season. So, he's definitely one of the top running backs, clearly one of the few featured backs remaining. So he'll still have a productive season, but probably not as productive as he did last season. And the defense is there as well. With guys like Javon Curse on the D-line there, Cortland Finnegan in the secondary. They've got some nice players on that defense, so we'll just see how they gel together, and especially in the division where with the kind of offenses that you have in this division, like Indy, like Houston. So this team, I think, should maybe compete for a wild card spot, but right now it's tough to say whether they're actually going to get into the playoffs. Next team up is going to be the Houston Texans. Last season, of course, was, I guess you can say, a history-making season for the Texans. It was their first ever winning season, going 9-7. beating the Patriots in the final week of the season to get that 9th win. Just missed out on the playoffs, though. But it seems like every year now the Texans have been improving. And, the players that they have, it's hard not to think that they could definitely improve again and possibly even make the playoffs. Like, this is a team for me that's, I believe, a sleeper pick to make the playoffs this year. You got guys like Matt Schaub and Andre Johnson. I mean, that was clearly a lethal combination last season. Schaub, of course, led the NFL with almost 4,800 passing yards. Johnson, of course, one of the top receivers in the game, probably the best. He's projected to be the top receiver in fantasy. So that combo, it definitely gives Houston a chance to win some games. Even their other receivers, like Kevin Walters, a nice sleeper pick, Jacoby Jones. And they have a nice tight end also, in Owen Daniels. I really like him. He's a good pass-catching tight end. Running back situation is a little shaky, though. Of course, this team, one of the worst running teams last season. Of course, it didn't help that Slayton got injured when he was an absolute bust last season after he had such a great rookie year. He's still kind of iffy. And then you got Aaron Boston and their rookie Ben Tate, who I think is another sleeper pick as far as like fantasy goes. If he ends up getting that number one running back spot, which he very well could. And on defense, you got guys back like Mario Williams, Brian Cushing. Although as of now, Cushing is suspended for the first 4 games of the season. But they're trying to get that reduced or rescinded. We'll see what goes on there. One of their key losses, though, they did lose Dante Robinson to the Falcons. So it'll be interesting to see how they replace him. They did go out and drafted Kyle Wilson. No, it wasn't Kyle Wilson. It was they drafted Kareem Jackson. That's it. Kareem Jackson out of Alabama. That's what it is. So he might be the favorite to get the slot there as far as that open cornerback spot goes. So, but again, this team for me, I think, is a sleeper to make the playoffs. They could probably win 9 games again, maybe 10. We'll have to see. And of course, the last team, if you haven't figured it out by now, the defending AFC champion, Indianapolis Colts. Obviously, this team in the Super Bowl last year, after going 14-2 in the regular season. Of course, they tanked those last 2 games of the season. That's where those 2 losses came from. And then they went on to beat the Ravens in the divisional playoffs, and then the Jets in the conference championship. Well, of course, losing the Super Bowl. As far as this season goes, they're pretty much the same team as they were last year, and that's definitely good news for Colts fans because anytime you have a Peyton Manning-led team, you are always going to have a shot to win. Not just win the division, but go deep into the playoffs, maybe get back to the Super Bowl. They've got pretty much everyone back, Adai and Brown in the backfield, Wayne, Garcon, Cauley, and even Anthony Gonzalez is supposed to be healthy. So that's 4 good receivers right there they can put out there. And then probably the best pass-catching tight end in the NFL, Dallas Clark. So obviously this team has a great, great offense. And with Peyton Manning at the helm, he can pretty much make anyone a star. Like, take last season, Pierre Garcon. His name basically came out of nowhere. But because he had Peyton Manning throwing to him, that was definitely a plus. As far as the defense goes, really I think the only key loss they had was Marlon Jackson, who signed with the Eagles. But of course he's now out for the year, so not a total loss for the Colts, I guess. They still got guys like Mathea back there and Bob Sanders. They're still good. One of the best DNs in the game, Dwight Freeney. So one of the top defenses in the game, definitely. I mean, again, like I said with Tennessee, with some of the offenses that you have in this league, or in this division rather, and in the conference too, but mostly the division. You know, it's always a test for every defense because these offenses can strike at any given time. You know, with Tennessee, Chris Johnson can break one at any moment. Houston, Shaw can hit Johnson deep. You know, Jacksonville, Jones-Drew can break one. So for all these defenses, it's definitely a test. So this is definitely one of the most like competitive divisions, one of the most offensively like all the offenses are like really strong in this division. The defenses have to kind of gel together and see if they're able to, because it's definitely it's always tough for them to stop those defenses. So that's going to be fun to watch. So so that is it for this division walkthrough, and I will check you guys out next time. Remember, this is your boy Wild Bill saying thanks for watching, and so long.